In the year 10,191, people know a lot about space and go from one planet to another. Each planet is like its own country, and they all follow one leader, the Padishah Emperor named Shaddam Karino IV. Each planet has groups called houses led by dukes who listen to what the Emperor says. One of these planets is Arrakis. It's a really tough place with lots of deserts, but it's super special because it's the only planet where you can find something rare called spice. This spice is super important because it keeps people healthy and helps them travel between planets. That's why, even though Arrakis is tough to live on, everyone wants to control it because having control means having power over the most precious thing in the whole universe. At the start, Cheney, a local from Arrakis, shares how their home has suffered under the harsh rule of House Harkonnen, who've been really mean to the people there. Sadly, the Arrakis folks couldn't fight back because House Harkonnen had the support of Emperor Shaddam. Cheney knows things won't stay peaceful for long since the Harkonnens suddenly leave, and she's pretty sure someone else will come to take advantage of their planet's riches, courtesy of the Emperor. Then the scene shifts to another planet, Caladan, ruled by House Atreides. Paul, the Prince of Atreides, keeps having this dream that won't leave him alone. Over breakfast, he chats with his mom, Lady Jessica, who's part of this special group called the Bene Gesserit. They're a super exclusive club with really cool powers, like mind tricks and such. Jessica's been teaching Paul all their tricks for ages. Because of this, Paul's got some pretty wild abilities, like seeing into the future and a bunch of other stuff he hasn't quite figured out yet. Paul's father Leto, the Duke of House Atreides, has this big meeting with the Landsraad, a bunch of important folks representing all the noble houses. Later that evening, Atreides throws a fancy welcome for these VIPs who come, bearing a message from Emperor Shaddam himself. Turns out, the Emperor booted House Harkonnen off Arrakis and now wants Leto and his crew to take over spice mining there. Leto's not too sure about the whole deal, but he goes along with it, following the Emperor's orders. During the meeting, Jessica notices Gaius Helen Mohiam, a member of the Bene Gesserit, eyeing Paul. The meeting wraps up with Leto sealing the deal with his ring, saying they'll head to Arrakis as ordered. Next thing, Atreides' troops are prepping to jet off to Arrakis. One of their top soldiers, Duncan, who's also pals with Paul, tries to reassure him. But Paul's been having these visions about Duncan biting the dust on Arrakis, which freaks him out. Duncan brushes it off, promising everything will be cool, and heads off to get things ready for Paul's fam when they arrive. In a heart-to-heart, Leto shares with Paul that he's not keen on using spice for riches. Instead, he wants to win over the Arrakis people, the Fremen, by treating them right. He's aiming to build a strong relationship with them, unlike the previous ruler, Harkonnen, who wasn't exactly kind. Leto sees the Fremen as a valuable part of Atreides. Meanwhile, Paul and his buddy Halleck practice their combat skills using a cool wrist gadget that shields them. Halleck's worried about potential trouble from the Harkonnens, urging Paul to be cautious once they hit Arrakis. Over at the Harkonnen house, the former ruler, Baron, and his unruly nephew, Robin, chat about the last ship taking off from Arrakis, basically handing it over to the Atreides. Robin's all riled up, dissing the Emperor for giving Arrakis away. But then Baron drops a bombshell. The Emperor's not a fan of the Atreides' rising popularity, so he's plotting their downfall. The plan? Wipe out Leto and his crew when they're knee-deep in spice mining on Arrakis. Shocking stuff. In Caladan, Jessica wakes Paul up and whisks him off to a doctor for a checkup. Turns out, the big-shot Reverend Mother Gaius Helen Mohiam heard about Paul's visions and wants to see if he's the special someone they've been waiting for. She makes him endure this test involving a box and his self-control, which he manages to pass with a whole lot of effort. Once Mohiam splits, Jessica spills the beans to Paul. The Bene Gesserit ladies have been pulling strings in politics behind the scenes. They've been carefully mixing bloodlines to bring about a guy who could potentially save Arrakis from being messed up because of spice. Guess what? The test Paul just aced? It marks him as the very person they've been seeking, the Messiah of Arrakis. Next day, Leto, Paul, Jessica, and their gang jet off to Arrakis and touch down. The local Fremen are all hyped up, welcoming them like Paul's some sort of chosen savior. But Paul thinks it's all just a wild belief, not something he's buying into. In his chamber on Arrakis, Paul's learning about these massive sandworms that roam the desert. The Fremen have this trippy way of walking to stay safe from them in the sand. While Paul's busy with holograms, a creepy insect jumps out of nowhere, aiming for him. Quick thinking saves his skin just in time. Turns out, there's a sneaky Harkonnen soldier hiding in the walls, trying to take Paul out. Talk about a close call. Meanwhile, Baron and Mohiam have a chat. She's onto the Emperor and Baron's scheme to hit Atreides, but her hands are tied. It's the Emperor's orders. She does manage to plead with Baron not to off Jessica and Paul. He agrees but plots to chuck them into the sand for the sandworms to chow down on. Back on Arrakis, there's a powwow among the bigwigs discussing their plan for spice mining. Surprise, surprise, the Harkonnens left them with busted gear, basically setting them up for a major fail. Tough break for the Atreides crew. After a while, Duncan and Paul reconnect. Duncan's been bunking with the Fremen out in the deserts for a solid 4 weeks. He spills all the survival secrets and dishes on this Fremen gang called Siege and their head honcho, Stilgar. Turns out, Stilgar's dropped by to meet Leto. Leto offers to team up with the Atreides crew, but Stilgar's not too thrilled about them taking without giving back to the land and its people. They part on decent terms, with Leto vowing to keep the Sitches safe from harm. The next day, Leto and his squad head out to check the spice sand they're gonna mine. They bump into a Freeman and the eco guru named Dr. Leet Kynes. She's all about checking Leto's gear, a sand suit designed to recycle sweat and pee into drinkable water. During the inspection, Kynes notices Paul's familiarity with the Freeman's suit-wearing techniques, sparking thoughts of an old prophecy, a messiah who knows their ways despite being from afar. She's leaning towards Paul being the one. As they're checking out the spice sand, trouble brews when 2 sandworms target the spice harvester. It's a regular hassle, and they usually send a carrier to lift the harvester away from the worms. But this time, the carrier's anchor snaps, leaving the crew of 21 stranded inside the harvester, about to face worm trouble. Leto acts fast, rallying everyone to bring their aircraft close to the harvester and rescue the crew. They manage to land on the sand just moments before the worms strike, saving the crew in the nick of time. But in the chaos, Paul gets a whiff of the spice and boom, vision time. Later, back home, he's still feeling dizzy, and the doc passes it off as an allergy. The situation escalates as Paul insists his vision was no mere allergy, claiming to have seen a Freeman girl. He also tells Jessica she's pregnant, but she brushes it off. Meanwhile, on the Imperial Army planet, a force, the Sedukar, is gearing up to attack the Atreides, with a rep for being the deadliest army around. Back on Arrakis, the doc hands Paul some meds for his supposed allergies, but it's actually a sneaky move. The doctors struck a deal with Baron, and the medicine will knock Paul out cold. Leto and Jessica are also given meds, but Leto, sensing something fishy, doesn't take his dose. Later, the Sedukar army strikes, catching everyone off guard. Leto tries to act, but the doctor nails him with a dart that slowly knocks him out. Outside, the Sedukar swarm in, catching the Atreides army by surprise. They're outnumbered and outgunned, and soon enough, the Sedukar overpower them, wreaking havoc on the place. It's a brutal turn of events for the Atreides. In the midst of chaos, the doctor informs the injured Leto that Baron took his wife captive, compelling the doctor to comply. He removes Leto's ring, intending to give it to Paul, and implants a lethal tooth in Leto's jaw, loaded with a poisonous gas that could wipe out everyone nearby. Simultaneously, the Sedukar army seizes Paul and Jessica, intending to cast them into the sand. Paul awakens aboard an aircraft, with his mother tied up beside him. Despite being gagged, Jessica's mental manipulation abilities come into play, and together, they overpower their captors. Finding a Freem kit left by the doctor, they seize the opportunity to escape into the desert. Meanwhile, an unconscious Leto is delivered to Baron, stripped of his clothing. The doctor pleads for Leto's wife's freedom but faces a brutal end at Baron's hands. Baron cruelly declares an end to Leto's bloodline. Realizing the dire circumstances, Leto activates the poisonous tooth, releasing a gas that consumes everyone in the room, including himself, as a final act of defiance. In solitude, Paul and Jessica erect a tent using the Freem kit and stumble upon a note from the doctor along with Leto's ring. Realizing Leto's demise, they mourn his loss, tears marking their sorrowful realization. The next day, Duncan seeks out Kynes, urging her to assist in finding Paul and Jessica. Meanwhile, back at Baron's palace, his soldiers return to find him perched safely on the ceiling post the poisonous gas incident, leaving them astonished. As Paul comes into contact with the spice in the sand, he's engulfed in visions of an impending holy war, witnessing scenes of immense carnage that overwhelm him. Jessica, deeply concerned, consoles her son, helping him regain his composure. Later, Paul, moved by a sense of responsibility, dons his father's ring, claiming the title of Duke of Atreides. Soon after, Duncan discovers them and reverently addresses Paul as the Lord Duke, a symbolic gesture of allegiance. They are subsequently led to safety by Kynes, finding refuge in an old ecological station meant to transform Arrakis into a paradise with flowing water, an ambitious project that could have transformed the harsh planet into a haven. In the past, the ecological project aiming to turn Arrakis into a paradise was abandoned once the valuable spice was discovered in the sand, diverting everyone's focus to spice harvesting. Now, in the present chaos, the Sedukar army infiltrates the safe zone, launching a fierce attack. Duncan valiantly risks his life to shield Jessica and Paul. Despite Paul's warning about seeing Duncan's death in his vision, Duncan remains steadfast in fulfilling his duty. Tragically, Duncan falls in battle, sacrificing himself to protect them, allowing Jessica, Paul, and Kynes to escape. As they flee, Jessica and Paul board an aircraft meant for two. Kynes advises them to head south to seek aid from the Fremen, intending to rendezvous after securing another aircraft from a different station. However, Kynes is captured by the Sedukar soldiers. Despite imminent peril, she creates a rhythmic thumping that summons a sandworm, obliterating their attackers. Meanwhile, Paul's aircraft is pursued by two enemy crafts. To evade them, he steers into a ferocious sandstorm, creating the illusion of their demise, fooling their pursuers momentarily. In another part of the story, Baron, bathing in healing medicines to recover from the gas attack, is joined by his nephew Robin, who reveals Leto and his bloodline's demise. Delighted by the destruction of his enemy house, Baron orders Robin to continue spice harvesting and exterminate all the Fremen. Meanwhile, Paul and Jessica, after crash landing in the desert, change into their desert suits and set out to locate the Fremen for assistance. Drawing from his knowledge of Fremen life, Paul guides their journey, aware of their unique walking technique to avoid alerting the sandworms. They trek throughout the day, during which Paul experiences visions of the Fremen, particularly a girl encouraging him not to lose hope. As they pause to rest, a loud noise alerts them to the presence of a sandworm nearby. Realizing the imminent danger, they begin to flee, but the sandworm accelerates, relentlessly chasing them across the desert sands. As the sandworm looms, ready to engulf Paul and Jessica, it abruptly halts. A thumper has been activated, diverting the sandworm's attention. Surrounding them, the Fremen leader Stilgar and his group appear. Initially, the Fremen intend to kill Paul and Jessica for the fluids in their bodies. However, Stilgar intervenes, claiming that Paul is the prophesied Messiah. The others are skeptical, arguing that Paul hasn't proven himself yet. In the midst of the debate, one of the Fremen insults Jessica, branding her as old and weak. In a powerful display, Jessica asserts her strength by holding the man hostage, demonstrating her formidable abilities. Following this, Stilgar directs everyone to head to Siege Tabar, where the fate of Paul and Jessica will be determined. At that moment, the girl from Paul's visions appears, introducing herself as Cheney, adding a mysterious layer to the unfolding events. The tension escalates as a Freeman named Jamis demands a duel with Paul, adhering to their tradition where duels culminate in death. Despite his reluctance to take a life, Paul, well-trained yet conflicted, ultimately prevails over Jamis, ending the duel with a fatal blow. The Fremen honor their customs by handling the deceased's body as they proceed to Siege Tabar. As they journey onward, Paul witnesses a man riding a colossal sandworm, a moment hinting at the vastness of what lies ahead. Cheney's words emphasize that this is just the beginning, teasing the potential for more in the sequels. The movie concludes on this tantalizing note, suggesting an expansive narrative yet to unfold. Thanks for tuning in, guys.